A gorgeous evening in downtown Reno, looking over the Truckee River. Tonight at Greater Nevada Fields, the first ever matchup between Reno 1868 and Fresno FC in a United Soccer League showdown. And hi everybody, welcome inside our broadcast booth alongside Colin Tabor. I'm Alex Margulies. Colin, 1868 has been on a tear. They have gone unbeaten in their last 9 matches with 5 wins and 4 draws, and a big reason for their success has been in the midfield with Lindo Mafeka.
Yeah, Lindo Mafeka has really been fantastic lately at the attacking midfield role, the number 10 role, chipping in with a great winner against OKC Energy last week. Lindo Mafeka will be looking to add to that tonight.
Mafeka now tied for the lead with goals. He's got 3 in his second season in the biggest little city. On the other side of the pitch, Reno will be concerned about Jamal Johnson, who has been one of the best scorers in the entire United Soccer League.
Yes, 6 goals in 12 games for Jamal Johnson, including a screamer last week that was voted USL Goal of the Week. He'll be someone to look out for this Reno 1868 defense.
All right, should be a good one here tonight in the biggest little city. Reno 1868 and Fresno facing off for the very first time. Tonight, it is Dane Kelly bobblehead giveaway night. Fans will certainly be excited for that one. We've got United Soccer League action next. All right, we are moments away from kickoff here tonight at Greater Nevada Field as Fresno and Reno will take each other on for the first time in their franchise's history. Fresno joining the league this year after Reno came in during the 2018 season. All right, Carl, let's take a look at the starting lineups. We'll begin with the visitors. Fresno coming in 3 wins, 4 losses, and 6 draws. And this is going to be a very, very defensive-looking alignment for Adam Smith tonight.
Yeah, if you look, no Juan Pablo Okafa and no Jamal Johnson. They'll be lining up in a 5-4-1. Expect them to park the bus and try to counterattack using the height of Pedro Ribeiro to win balls in the air.
And for Reno 1868 and Ian Russell, some moving parts as well with the promotion of Kevin Partita. He has signed a contract with the San Jose Earthquakes. And for Reno 1868, we'll see what kind of offense they can generate in his absence. But Mo Chow at the top right there in the forward spot, he has been spectacular as well.
Yeah, Ian Russell is fortunate to have Jerry Van Avek, Lindo Mafeka, and Mo Chow all clicking at the same time together. So expect the 3 of them to try to combine to get goals tonight.
Our referees for our match tonight, Marco Vega is our lead man. Alicia Messer, Brandon Chapman, and Daniel Cervantes will assist. Adam Smith leading the charge for Fresno. He was the top assistant with Sac Republic during their couple of strong years out of the gates in USL play, and he has been charged with leading this group, an affiliate of the Vancouver Whitecaps. So it used to be the Whitecaps 2, and they decided to cease operations with that club and move their affiliate to Fresno with this new franchise. And can imagine over the years a rivalry could develop between these two. You seem like in every sport there is kind of a regional rivalry between Reno and Fresno teams, and excited to see this one here tonight.
Yeah, this could end up being a rivalry based on proximity. These two teams first time playing each other this season and overall first time playing each other, so expect something to happen here tonight. I mean, Fresno FC, they come out the gates sitting in that 5-4-1.
Fresno on the attack. Duke Lacroix with the takeaway and then sent down the fields. Reno 1868 in their home blues, and they're the visitors in the white. Fresno FC, or the Foxes, Los Zorros, coming down from the Central Valley here for this one tonight. Reno, after a rough start to the season at home, they had been defeated in their first 3 matches in this building. They have gone 2-0-1 since. Their last match at home, a 2-1 victory over San Antonio.
Yeah, this 9-game unbeaten streak that Ian Russell has had has all been based on tightening up the defense. Thomas Janjigian and Zach Carroll have both been outstanding at center backs, restricting teams to very few chances, along with the double pivot in midfield today with Luis Felipe and Seth Kasipli, preventing counterattacks from happening.
Camden Fawo on the attack down the field and coming up from his fullback spot and able to penetrate deep into Reno territory, and he will earn an early corner kick. Camden Fawo, a former teammate at UNLV of Reno's Danny Mazovsky, and I guess now formerly Partita.
Yeah, Camden Fawo with a very powerful run on the left-hand side. He'll be disappointed to see no Danny Mazovsky or Kevin Partita here tonight. I'm sure he was looking forward to playing his former teammates.
Carroll, who's wearing the captain's armband, will head that one out of trouble. Taking over that duty with Jordan Morrell having been sidelined the last couple of weeks, but Morrell is listed as a possible substitution here today, so we may see him come into his first action in nearly a month. Camden Fawo on the throw-in, and Fresno will take it back into their half of the field and send it all the way back to goal with Kyle Rainish.
Yeah, and I think Fresno are pushing further up the field than we initially expected. Camden Fawo and Baldissimo are almost acting as wide forwards, supporting Pedro Ribeiro and Cuevas here on the left-hand side.
Here's Danny Barrera, longtime Sac Republic midfielder, signed in the offseason by Fresno. Patient ball movement here. Kasipli trying to take it away, and now Richards into his feet as he'll send it down the fields, and here comes Reno 1868. Paul Marie trying to lead one for Mo Chow, and it's too far, and a throw-in now coming for Fresno. send Camden Faywo down on the ball. Born in Paris, France, but again ended up playing his college career at UNLV. 49 games for the Rebels, scoring 4 goals over a 3-year span, 2013 to 2015. Here's Lindo Mafeka. Skirts through the defense. Or excuse me, that's Lacroix, and Duke Lacroix trying to find Paul Marie and can't center it, but a good run there by Duke Lacroix.
Yeah, a bit of a tough angle for Paul Marie to try to get something on it. A good run from Duke Lacroix, though. He takes his space, takes on a couple of Fresno defenders. Bit fortunate on that deflection, but is able to get a cross in. But like I said, a little bit of a tough angle for Paul Marie there.
Well, I think what Ian Russell has in his lineup tonight, a lot of guys like that in Lacroix, and you'll see those types of runs from Jerry Van Avik. You'll see that kind of run from Lindo Mafeka, guys that they penetrate and they're very difficult to slow down, and they're very resilient in how they attack.
Yeah, and with Fresno playing with 3 center backs, they're going to try to keep things tight in the middle, which will allow space for the likes of Duke Lacroix and Brent Richards to get up the line.
Richards trying to advance the ball up now. He steps up and saves it in the midfield, gets it to Kasipli. Here's Richards again. Unable to get through that Fresno defense. Blanco now trying to get it through midfields. Bad pass there, and here's Seth Kasipli to pick it up. Kasipli trying to feed it in there for Mo Chow, and almost got it there. Good attempt there by Reno.
Yeah, and with how high Camden Faywo is, Seth Kasipli had a lot of room there. None of the Fresno defense tried to step to Seth Kasipli there, and he was able to get a ball to try to find Mo Chow's feet.
Here's Paul Marie. Back to Lindo Mafeka. Good ball movement here by Reno 1868. Mafeka. Richards trying to cross the fields. Good control here by Reno 1868. Now Felipe touches the ball. Richards trying to redirect with his head there. And Fresno will just escort that one out of bounds. Opening minutes here tonight in downtown Reno. The biggest little city. Reno 1868 and Fresno FC. Kicking off a new USL rivalry. It's been fun to see this league grow. I mean, it's only Reno's second year, but seeing the additions of Fresno and Las Vegas this season. Van Avik. Chow trying to find Mafeka, puts his left foot into it, and couldn't quite get enough as Rainish was able to dive and stop that one.
Yeah, and a bit of a poor clearance here from Corey Brown. Just takes a knock off his shins, and Lindo Mafeka has time and space for a shot, but doesn't quite get enough power on that one to trouble the goalkeeper Rainish.
I think early on, though, you're seeing a good effort from Reno in the midfield of keeping possession.
Yeah, I think initially they struggled a little bit. I think Fresno came out the gates a little bit higher and forcing more numbers forward than they initially expected, but now they're starting to get a foothold on the game. Of course, it's still early on, and anything could happen in the next 83 or so minutes, but you're starting to see Reno get that foothold on the game, starting to find the feet of Seth Kasipli and Lindo Mafeka.
Fresno able to get it away from Van Avik. Here they come on a counterattack. Ball send it wide for Camden Faywo. Carroll giving chase, gets a piece of the ball, takes out Camden, and a solid tackle there from Zach Carroll.
Yeah, great tackle, great covering from Zach Carroll after a brilliant ball to find Camden Faywo in the corner.
Paul Marie trying to advance, and here's Camden Faywo again. He's been very active early. Looking for a cross, and it goes off of Richards and out of play. Ribeiro gets his foot on it. It's stopped by Marcinkowski.
Oh, and Ribeiro does so well to hold up the ball and then turn Thomas Janjigian and get a good shot off, but a great save here from JT Marcinkowski. Stop that from being a goal for Fresno.
Marcinkowski, the 20-year-old from Alamo, California, came in one of the top saves leaders in the entire circuit. Doing a nice job here in his first season with Reno 1868.
Yeah, some of the saves he's made this season have been out of this world. Reflex saves that you expect to be a certain goal.
Here's Jerry Van Avink. Able to get past Blanco, trying to find Lacroix. A little too high to get it to Mafeka. Kasipli to Paul Marie. And another good job in the middle there by Fresno's defense. Corey Brown with the interception, but Reno gets it right back. And Lindo was expecting something different there as he wastes a possession and sends it out of play.
Yeah, I think he's expecting the run of Duke Lacroix into that space there. And just a bit of a miscommunication between the two.
Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. You can receive free shipping on orders over $50. Here's Paul Marie again with a strike towards the corner and a little bit too far, but not a bad try there from Paul Marie, who is drafted in the first round this year by the San Jose Earthquakes. And starting to get a lot more comfortable, I think, here in a Reno 1868 uniform. He's had a chance now to play in over a half dozen games.
Yeah, and I think playing on the wing has given him a new lease of life. A lot more freedom attacking, and I think he's enjoyed that. Has a bit of a shot from distance. I think he just tries to get across the ball and get a little outside curve on it, but doesn't catch it right. But you can see the Fresno defenders starting to back off in any shots outside the box, and Reno can have an effort from out there.
Marie, one of 3 players born in France on tonight's rosters, joining Camden Faywo as well as Antoine Opino. Speaking of France, pretty solid friendly between the U.S. and France today.
Yeah, the young boys, the U.S. national team, with a big draw. I mean, of course it's a friendly, and France cares less about it than the U.S. do. A lot of the U.S. players have a point to prove, but I mean, big result for those young boys to show that they belong in future World Cup qualifying.
Disappointing, most definitely, for the United States. They won't compete in the upcoming World Cup, but have to look towards the future and building this program back up, getting ready for the next Olympic Games and the following World Cup after that. Of course, a lot in between, but good to see some young players getting some valuable playing time.
Yeah, definitely, and that was without Christian Pulisic as well.
Marie, the header, Chow, and saved by Rainish.
Oh, an excellent save by Rainish. That header from Mo Chow's looping over him. That's a tougher save than it looks. He's able to get behind it and just swat it over for a corner kick. But a good reaction save. That step backwards in the last moment was what saved him there.
So it's a corner kick for Jerry Van Avink. Tried to go towards the back post. Janjigian was there for a header, but he heads it out of play. And a goal kick coming up for Kyle Rainish. Or excuse me, a throw-in will come now for Fresno. And we'll send over Corey Brown to the ball. Also drafted this year, he was 62nd overall coming out of Xavier. Drafted by Vancouver. He is a native of New Zealand, the 22-year-old. getting some valuable development time here in the United Soccer League. Van Avik and Lacroix combining there, but cleared away by Fresno. Again, this is a very defensive-lined team tonight for the Zorros. Here comes Marie, sends it wide for Chow.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see Fresno's shape that we anticipated start to come to life. I mean, 3 center backs not confronting past the 18-yard line, 2 wing backs that are getting further back but then pushing forward again.
Yeah, it was very surprising not to see Jamel Johnson, who's got 6 goals. He's been one of the best strikers in the entire circuit this year, as well as Juan Pablo Caffa, one of the most experienced players in the USL, a 33-year-old Argentinian who really is one of the most dynamic players in the USL.
And there's a reason why he was.
Van Avik, and another save by Reno, but Reno right now is living in Fresno's half of the field.
And a brilliant deep ball from Paul Marie to find Jerry Van Avik all alone. Baldissimo does not track the run, and Jerry Van Avik has a free volley on it, and another great save from Rainish to prevent a goal. But going back to Juan Pablo Caffa, there's a reason why he was on the short list for MVP last year with Tulsa. There's a reason why Tulsa's struggling so much without him. He's such a fantastic player. Time in La Liga with Real Betis. Bit strange to see him on the bench today.
And Avek. Fresno with the clear. Mafeka will go track it down. Back to Marie. Well, Colin, about 16 minutes deep in this one. Do you like what you're seeing from Reno 1868?
Yeah, I think Reno's really trying to expand the field. They're trying to use their outside fullbacks and the space that they're given to try to attack down the wings. I think Paul Marie in particular has had a lot of space to be able to get good balls in or have a shot or two. And I think they're doing a good job of breaking down this deep-lying defense of Fresno.
Duke Lacroix backpedaling and able to get the interception. Looking for Mo Chow, and it's taken back away by the Zorros. Fresno, like Reno, their home stadium also doubles as a baseball park. They play at Chukchansky Park, home of the Fresno Grizzlies. Really open up a lot of opportunities. The idea of using a baseball already diamond and stadium complex and turn it into a soccer pitch, and we've seen that kind of take off across the USL these last couple of years, including right here in downtown Reno, where we share this park with the Reno Aces.
Yeah, teams are now able to have a viable stadium plan where they might not have before by using minor league baseball stadiums. I think it's been great. It's been with great success. I mean, ideally a soccer-specific stadium would be better, but how many teams in USL could afford to have their own soccer-specific stadium?
Yeah, it's tough funding, either privately or if you're looking for public funding, that's tough to come by right now, I think. And certainly the idea of sharing has been a very viable option for many cities that maybe would not have a chance to field the team otherwise. You know, a lot of teams have called Joe Hill, the head groundskeeper here, as well as Eric Edelstein, and how they've been able to implement this here in Reno, and they've certainly been a model for how to do this. The chance here now in the 18th minute for Jerry Van Avik. Delivers into the box, and Carroll lets that one go by. Last touch by Fresno, and a corner kick now coming for Reno 1868.
Yeah, and completely missed clearance there from Pedro Ribeiro, and Zach Carroll was creeping on the far post. I don't think he expected it to come to him.
Van Avik here in the 19th. Janjigian keeps it in play, sends it back in the box. Mafeka couldn't quite get to it, goes all the way back to midfield, and Duke Lacroix. Janjigian knocked down by Renish, and he'll go pick it up himself. Good strike there from deep outside the box by Thomas Janjigian, who has been one of the most improved players for this team over the last couple of seasons here with Ian Russell.
Yeah, Thomas Janjigian was a player who didn't get to see a lot of time last year. When he did play, it was mostly as a left back, but his new position here at center back, he's almost a new man. He's been very solid with Zach Carroll.
Big win there by Marie, and off the bar. Marie, and that one is cleared away. Brown got his foot on it, and Reno is that close to striking first here against Fresno.
And Paul Marie has been so dangerous early on. Here we see him find Mo Chow, and Mo Chow just tries to slot it into that far post. So unfortunate to see it hit the post, but Paul Marie follows it up, and it takes the slightest of deflections. Oh, but it looks like the referee judged it as a goal kick. I thought Mickey Daly got something on it there, and it was going in.
Reno's had some really good chances here in this first half. See if Fresno can put something together in Reno's half of the field as Lacroix escorts that one out of play. I got to tell you, Reno has done a really, really good job at making Fresno defend and force them to stay in that defensive mode in their half of the field for the majority of these 20-plus minutes.
Yeah, it's clear Adam Smith wanted to use the wingbacks, Baldissimo and Camden Fable, to attack Reno down the sides, but Reno has been keeping them pinned in, and they haven't been able to attack with numbers.
Does that help to have a guy on the outside like Duke Lacroix, who has so much speed and his ability to get back so quickly?
Oh, it absolutely helps. You saw Baldissimo had a good yard or two on him on that run, and Duke Lacroix was able to get between him and the ball anyway. He's so quick there on that left-hand side.
Ian Russell likes to send his fullbacks forward. Here's Lacroix again. Makes a run into the box, and Lacroix will earn a corner for Reno 1868.
And another good run on the left-hand side from Duke Lacroix. Is able to get the better of the Fresno defense, but it takes Mickey Daly with the last-ditch tackle to put it out for a corner.
Reno was excited to sign Lacroix in mid-April. He played in 5 games last year with Orange County before going down with a knee injury. I think he's got a lot of potential. Van Avek going far again, headed a couple times, and Renish will leap up and grab it after the header by Janjigian. 0-0 here in the 22nd minute from Greater Nevada Field in downtown Reno. 1868 trying to go for their 10th consecutive game with earning at least a point. They have not been defeated since back on April the 14th here at home against Colorado Springs. A very impressive run for this club.
Yeah, a very impressive run after really a very disappointing loss. I think that was a bit of a wake-up call for this team to lose 4-0 to a team that, I mean, Colorado Springs Switchbacks is a respectable team, but they're not a team Reno should be losing 4-0 to, and I think that gave Reno a little kickstart that allows their 9-game unbeaten streak that they're currently on.
Well, it's amazing, too. In the inaugural season, Reno lost only twice the entire season here at home, yet they started this year 0-3.
Yeah, it was a rough start. I mean, same as last year, as we've talked about in prior broadcasts, 2 years with rough starts, and then once April or May start to kick on is when Reno, both years now, have really started to get into form, find their feet, and be a team that other teams in the USL do not want to face.
I think what you've seen, too, over the last couple of months in Reno's success is their depth, and that's something that Ian Russell felt like he had coming into the season, maybe even more so than last year, and I think it really has been proven. You see even guys like your captain, Jordan Morrell, going down to injury for a while, and Reno doesn't skip a beat.
Yeah, Jordan Morell and Antoine Openo, the two leaders of this team, are on the bench right now, and that shows the amount of depth that Ian Russell has, that those two players can be on the bench and Reno still feel fine, feel like they can create chances and be solid in the back without the two.
Radevic knocked down from behind, no whistle though, as Lacroix will quickly throw it into Luis Felipe. Felipe, a great story, signed midseason last year and then performed so well here in a Reno uniform. He was offered a contract by the Quakes in the offseason and continued to get some time here in an 1868 uniform. Mafeka deep in the box there, but Daly gets it away. But another corner now for Reno 1868.
Oh, and another good deep ball, this time from Brent Richards on the right-hand side, putting a ball behind that defense, behind Brown for Lindo Mafeka.
Fans, the USL's official Twitter feed will keep you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. You can follow at USL on Twitter. Alongside Colin Tabor, Alex Margulies here in downtown Reno as we move into minute 26 tonight. Lacroix again trying to be disruptive. That time too far out of his reach, and a goal kick coming up for Rainish. Also, Coors Light. Whatever your mountain, climb on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility. It's been a busy night so far for that man, Kyle Rainish, 34-year-old with lots of MLS experience. Has suited up in MLS games for Real Salt Lake, for Chicago Fire, New York Red Bulls, Atlanta United last season, made a couple of appearances for them. But getting much more regular playing time. He has appeared in every single contest this year with Fresno. Mafeka sends it wide for Brent Richards. Felipe steps up to keep possession for Reno, sends it wide for Lacroix. Janjigi there to prevent a counterattack. Here's Zach Carroll now. Carroll gets it back off a deflection. This time Fresno is able to clear.
Yeah.
Here's Camden Faywo.
And Fresno would want to try to take advantage of Zach Carroll being out of position there. But Zach Carroll's run shows how far back Fresno are sitting. He was able to run from beyond the half line to almost the 18 unopposed.
Camden Faywo trying to find it to Ribeiro in the box, but Janjigian gets his body in front of it. Radevic. Back to Carroll, first season here in a Reno 1868 uniform after coming over from Orlando City. Played for their USL team last year. Also made it to the championship with the Red Bulls 2 back in 2016. Experienced player in this circuit. Chow trying to find some space there in the box, but cleared away by Fresno. Richards, his header, keeps it in play. Now a throw in for Kasipli. Chow back to Kasipli. And he tees one up for Marie, but he can't control it. But that was a nice look there from Seth Kasipli to give a chance to Paul Marie.
Yeah, well done from Seth Kasipli to pick his head up and see the trailing Paul Marie. And Paul Marie gets behind this. Bit of a tougher ball to hit. A lot of players would have skied that, but Paul Marie gets over it, but sends it pretty far wide.
3 clean sheets for Reno this year. Gets it in for Camden Fayewo. Up to Milton Blanco getting his first start of the season tonight. He had only appeared in 9 minutes previous to today. Camden Fayewo again used on the attack. Get it back to Brown.
Fresno are starting to feel comfortable in possession again, starting to try to find their opportunities rather than counter.
Marcinkowski instructing Richards just to let that one go, and Reno's keeper will send his team back forward before sending it to Janjigian.
On a good little interplay between Van Avek, Mafeka, and Chow.
Reno gets in there deep but can't finish.
Another great last-ditch tackle from Mickey Daly once again. But the moment Fresno pressed higher, Reno were able to get in behind. That's what you want to see from Reno if Fresno try to press higher, get their lines higher up the field.
Redirected by Chow, but into the hands of Kyle Rainish. Whistle and some contact here as we move into the 32nd minute. And it looked like a little bump from behind from Janjigian.
Yeah, Janjigian just goes into the back of Pedro Ribeiro there. Ribeiro sells it a bit, but this will give Fresno a chance to push their lines up once again, try to find the dangerous Pedro Ribeiro on this set piece.
Look at Ian Russell from the sidelines. Has to feel like with the runs that his team has been able to make here in the first half, I think he would have liked to have seen his team be rewarded with a goal at this point. Some trouble here, though, as that one goes wide, but a chance there from Fresno. Danny Barrera, longtime Sac Republic midfielder, the throw in there. And now it's going to be a Reno possession.
And well won by Lindo Mafeka high up the field.
Paul Marie gives it back to Mafeka. Looking for Mo Chow, holds up. Mafeka, and just wide of the net. Good setup there from Mo Chow to find Mafeka, and again, good ball movement deep by Reno 1868.
Yeah, and it all comes from poor passing from the Fresno backline. Not a lot of danger in Reno's press, but Fresno gives it away anyway. And Lindo Mafeka just tries to sneak one into the near post there, but just wide.
Chow putting some pressure on Rainish there. Able to give his team a chance to put on a run here, though. Barrera keeps it in play. Camden Fayewo Redirected and into the back of the nets. And Fresno has taken the first lead of the night.
And it all comes from a great low ball driven in by Camden Fawo. Able to get that ball to the penalty spot. Goes past a couple Reno defenders, and Cuevas is there to put it away in the far post. The nice, tidy finish to put Fresno ahead here at Greater Nevada Field.
Well, that is very frustrating for Reno 1868 here in this opening half, as a well-timed counter from Fresno is able to net them the first goal of the night.
And you can see Adam Smith's game plans starting to come to fruition. Using the wingbacks, getting high up the field. It all started from Baldissimo. His cross wasn't dealt with from Reno, and on the opposite end, Camden Fawo was able to put another ball in.
Fresno waiting for one mistake, and they got it and took advantage as Cuevas gets his first goal of the season. See how Reno can respond here in the final 10 minutes of regulation in the first half. Paul Marie whistled off sides, and possession goes back to Fresno FC. And Fresno able to get that goal without their two top scorers in the lineup, Jamal Johnson and Juan Pablo Caffa right now both on the bench.
And it's come from an impressive showing on this left side from Camden Fawo. He's done well to get up the field. He's done well to put balls in across. You could see how much Adam Smith is trying to target through the wing backs.
Look at Cuevas, the 28-year-old from California, USL time in 97 games prior to this year. Shooting up for Charleston, then the Arizona United, now the Phoenix Rising. Also some time in Oklahoma City. Last year with Fresno Fuego in the PDL, but now with this new USL franchise. Cuevas delivers one into the box. Redirected and cleared by Luis Felipe.
And that was dangerous from Fresno. Well done from Luis Felipe to get something on that before Mickey Daly is able to get a foot on it.
Well, if you're Reno now down 1-0, you've got about 10 minutes left here in the first half. How do you approach it now down 1-0?
Well, you want to grab a goal before the halftime whistle. I think that changes the dynamic at halftime so much, especially if it's a goal right before. It allows you to be on the front foot going into the second half. So for Reno, they'll want to push, they'll want to get that goal. But they'll still want to be wary of those wingbacks of Fresno getting up the field. They don't want to push too much up yet. There's still plenty of time in the game. And the last thing you want is to go down by 2.
Janjigian will give it back to Marcinkowski after possession fizzled at midfield. Richards trying to lead one there for Chow, and it's too far.
Yeah, and a good, clever run from Mo Chow. I think there's a lot of space in the corners for Reno to exploit, but Brent Richards' ball, while he sees the run, is just a little too heavy for Mo Chow to run onto. But the right idea, trying to make those runs inside out with such a tight back three and wing backs push high up as they are, there'll be space out wide in the corners, as we see here, Paul Marie.
Good pass there, finds Kasipli. Richards into Chow. Fans want to remind you, voting now open for the USL's monthly awards for May. Cast your vote for Player of the Month, Goal of the Month, and Save of the Month this weekend at uslsoccer.com. Parents, it's also a good time to sign up your kids for Truckee's Kids Club presented by Shields and 95.5 The Vibe. Go to shop.reno1868fc.com today to sign your kids up for a season of fun. That's shop.reno1868fc.com. Pass from Lacroix to Chow is broken up. They'll get it back to Van Avek. Janjigian does a good job there to hold possession. Now to Carroll coming up from his center back spot. Felipe gets his head on it. And cleared by Fresno.
Yeah, Mo Chow tries to make that run into the corner again, but Del Campo reads that one well. He's able to follow the run and clear it out.
Camden Fayewo working against Richards. Brown keeps it away from Mafeka. Gets it back to Blanco. Del Campo getting involved from center back. Back over to Corey Brown. Sipley chips a piece. All the way back to Marcinkowski.
I'm a bit surprised to see Reno sitting back and letting the Fresno back three pass it amongst each other, especially when you've seen when they press Fresno, they make Fresno makes mistakes.
Richards working hard there, trying to get it away from Camden Fayewo. Can't do it. Good ball there to Ribeiro. Pedro Ribeiro centers, and a foot there from Luis Felipe to get it out of the box.
Yeah, good run from Pedro Ribeiro there, and he turns provider trying to get that ball in the box.
Fayewo the throw-in, Sipley able to get it, and then cleared out by Fresno. And a goal kick coming up for Marcinkowski as we tick down the final couple minutes in regulation here tonight in the first half. And Reno trails tonight 1-0. Marie over to Chow. Trying to find Mafeka. And Rainish able to fall on top of it.
Oh, and a brilliant ball from Mo Chow. Lindo Mafeka is just put off by the slight deflection from Cazares there. Cazares tracks that run and gets just enough on it to make it pop up in front of Mafeka. What would have been a sure goal after what a brilliant ball.
Fresno has to feel very confident tonight with this first half goal. They have not lost a game this year when they have scored first.
Well, it looks like Duke Lacroix is struggling a bit after slipping. Motioning, I think, to his elbow.
Janjigian slipping and falling there near midfield as well. Here's Ribeiro. Over to Danny Barrera. Camden Fayewo. Nice move around Richards. Fayewo will go right at the goal himself, and Marcinkowski will pick it up.
Oh, and well done once again from Camden Fayewo, who's been so active in this first half. Gets the better of Brent Richards with a nice little move and tries to put that ball across the near post, hoping Pedro Ribeiro's run brings it just before JT Marcinkowski, but Marcinkowski is able to gobble it up.
Good touch there from Marie trying to find Chow, but it's knocked out. As we tick down to the final seconds here in first half regulation time. Reno trying to find the answer here before halftime. Stay tuned in a moment. Our sideline reporter, Kylie Diesner, will check in with Ian Russell before he heads into Reno's locker room. Too far there for Chow, and goal kick now for Rainish. And we'll see what kind of stoppage time we add here. Well, it looks like there may be no stoppage at all, and that is the case. There's the whistle for the half. And a frustrating start for Reno 1868 as they will trail 1-0 after a goal from Jose Cuevas. Once again, we'll hear from Coach Russell here momentarily. We'll let you know when Kylie has him, but certainly, Colin, not the way Reno wanted to go into halftime.
Yeah, and it's always the most frustrating thing to concede a goal against the run of play, to feel like you've had the better of your opponent for 45 minutes, but they're walking away with the 1-0 lead at halftime. I think Fresno executed their game plan very well. I think using the wing backs of Baldissimo and Camden Fayewo has been effective for them. We saw with Camden Fayewo a couple really good deliveries from him.
All right, Kylie.
12 shots on goal tonight, and what do you think you guys need to do to finish those opportunities in the second half?
I mean, it's just got to be clinical in the box. Hit the post a couple times, had other chances, but the sense of urgency to score just doesn't seem like it's there, so hopefully we make some changes in the second half and get some goals.
All right, and then you guys are usually a second half team. That's where you win a lot of your games. Yep. So what do you think specifically needs to happen in the second half?
Yeah, we just got to keep pressing. They got an extra man in the middle, so we got to deal with that a little bit better, but we got to catch them on the break.
All right, thanks so much, Coach.
All right, thank you very much, Kylie. Appreciate that. And Ian Russell, we'll see what 1868 can do in the second 45 minutes, but so far, in the first meeting between these two clubs, it's Fresno FC with the halftime lead. We'll take a break, come back with some halftime features, and we'll show you the highlights from this one before we kick off once again here at Greater Nevada Field. This is United Soccer League action on My21 TV.
We came here with a unique challenge, and that was to solve the problem of producing over 500 games and do so in a cost-effective way for the clubs, in a way that produced high-quality broadcasts and standardize the look and feel of all of those productions. Outside of the live event, the match experience, outside of that, the broadcast is the window into the brand for the club and for the league. And we need to be able to capture that in a compelling way with a quality broadcast.
A large portion of the teams work with our partner Vista on REMI Productions, remote integration. What that means is that the production of the game is actually handled mostly away from site. So the way these games will work is a truck will show up locally at the stadium. There'll be 4 camera operators there, and those signals are sent all the way here to Fort Lauderdale. And here locally at Vista, the game is cut. The game has graphics put on top of it. Replay is done here, and in many cases, the play-by-play is actually done on site here at Vista as well. So after the game is fully produced, we have a signal that goes to our partner ESPN Plus for US distribution. We have a signal that goes to YouTube for international distribution. And then for the teams that have an over-the-air local broadcast regional sports network deal, the signal is sent to their partners as well. So even for the games that aren't done with a REMI production, all games flow through Vista, and all those signals have to get sent out all over the world to reach the fans of USL. Because of those REMI productions, we'll oftentimes have 5 or 6 games going on at one time. Nobody is doing sports REMI productions on this level consistently.
We have built one of the largest REMI production models of any league in the world. And now we're able to deliver anywhere in the world to our partners at ESPN, fully produced matches from all over the country. We couldn't be more thrilled with the progress we've made and some of the innovative things now we're going to be able to start to bring into the broadcast moving forward.
Hey soccer fans, I'm Courtney Hudson here with Reno 1868 FC, and this is your look around the league. As we close off week 13 of the regular season, Real Monarchs SLC continues to extend their lead with 31 points. Teams following closely behind continue to battle with only a few points separating the rest of the Western Conference. Phoenix Rising FC and Sacramento Republic are tied with 24 points each, and Portland Timbers 2 following very close behind with 23. Here's a look at the games played earlier this week. On Monday in the Western Conference, Real Monarchs SLC defeated Rio Grande Valley FC 2-0 to get their 10th win of the season. We're going to take a look at some of the top storylines of this week. Tampa Bay Rowdies midfielder Joe Cole has taken on additional duties as an assistant coach for the team, effective immediately, the club announced Friday. Cole, a Premier League legend, is one of the top names in the USL and has joined on as a player/coach for the rest of the season. Tampa sits in 8th in the Eastern Conference. Nashville SC is one of 2 USL clubs to the US Open Cup's round of 16. Nashville will face rival Louisville City, while Sacramento FC will take on LAFC in the next round. The United Soccer League announced its latest expansion club with USL New Mexico, headquartered in Albuquerque. USL New Mexico becomes the 5th new club set to join the league for the 2019 season and is the state's first professional soccer franchise. That's your look around the league for this week. Enjoy the second half of the game here at Greater Nevada Field.
Halftime here at Greater Nevada Field, and a 1-0 lead for Fresno FC in the first meeting between these two Western Conference foes. And Colin Tabor, frustrating result there in the first half for Reno, I think, especially considering how effective they were really in the first 30 minutes of that half. It seemed like for about a 20-25 minute stretch, Reno was just camped out in Fresno's half of the field, but credit to Kyle Rainish and their defense for not conceding a goal there early.
Yeah, I think Rainish and Daly in particular have done a very good job of restricting Reno from scoring their opening goal of the night. And, you know, credit to Fresno. I mean, they're leaking some chances, but they're staying pretty resolute. They're sticking to the game plan. And as we saw, they were able to get a goal against the run of play without Juan Pablo Caffa and Jamal Johnson.
All right, let's take a look at the first half highlights from this one. And again, Reno with a lot of chances early in the contest as we roll the tape. And Paul Marie here with a good setup for Mafeka and then for Chow. And Rainish, again, he was impressive in goal.
Yeah, a couple big saves from Rainish in this first half. We see this one well struck on the half volley from Jerry Van Avik, but Rainish is able to deal with it.
Thought Paul Marie really jump-started Reno's offense a couple times, and Chow there, unlucky as he misses the post by just the narrowest of margins, and then also Marie just wide. And again, the chances continue. There's Lindo Mafeka who went just wide of the net. And then finally, the goal came across, and it was teed up by Bradley Camden Fayewo, and he was tremendous offensively in the first half for Fresno.
Yeah, Fayewo got up that line a lot, using his powerful runs and good left foot to put in some good deliveries, as we saw there with Cuevas' class finish to put it into the far post.
So Jose Cuevas, who had not scored at all this season, getting the start today, and he has the only score of the night. Some Reno players coming back out on the field as we take a look at the battle-born brigade, and some folded arms and some shrugged shoulders. A little bit of frustration here from the first half, but Reno has done very well here in the last couple of months. Over their last 9 matches, they have not lost, and we'll see if they can continue that magic, and it'll come down to looking for an equalizer here in the second half and then maybe putting another one in the back of the net. But for 1868, when you look at what they need to do in the second half, Colin, what's the message for me and Russell?
I think exploiting the wide areas. I think at first they did a really good job, especially Duke Lacroix, of getting up the line and trying to put deliveries into the box. I think we saw less of that as the half went on, trying to force in the middle where Mo Chow was isolated against 3 center backs a lot of the time. So I think using the wide options, using Duke Lacroix and Paul Marie, Brent Richards, and Jerry Van Avik to really draw out the Fresno center backs to be able to make room for the likes of Lindo Mafeka or Mo Chow running in.
Now, we saw Fresno sit back and be very defensive-minded in the first half with a 1-0 advantage. Do you see them maybe trying to push up the field a little bit more and maybe go for that kill by getting that second goal?
I think they're going to try to counter using their wing backs. I think they will sit back a little more than they did in the first half, but I think they're still going to try to counter, still try to use the height of Ribeiro. And who knows, we might see Jamal Johnson or Juan Pablo Caffa coming in to try to add that second goal. I mean, those are 2 fantastic players to bring off the bench who experience in the highest levels.
You can watch highlights from every game of the 2018 USL season and bonus content from around the league by subscribing to the league's official YouTube channel at youtube.com/USL. Also, watch to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL by following the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. He's Colin Tabor. I'm Alex Margulies here tonight from downtown Reno, and what has turned out to be a gorgeous, beautiful June night. And you can see there in the middle of the screen an early substitution for Reno 1868. Brian Brown, the Jamaican striker, will come off the bench and start here for the second 45. And Brown certainly a guy that can change a game when he's on.
Yeah, Brian Brown, when he's on, he's so much more than a target man. He's someone who can take people on, who can be creative and clever, be a playmaker along with being the striker putting things away at the end. Also, Antoine Openo coming in for the second half. It looks like Paul Marie and Mo Chow are making way for the two Reno attackers.
Good to see Antoine Openo back out onto the pitch. He had been recovering from injury, and always a player that is difficult for the opposition to deal with. Openo, a season ago, one of the top goal scorers in the entire circuit. He put 12 into the back of the net. This season he has not scored. However, he has provided a team-leading 4 assists.
Yeah, and this is something you'll see Ian Russell do pretty often. If he's not happy with the first half, he's not afraid to make changes at halftime, especially with the amount of depth he has up front. Having the likes of Brian Brown and Antoine Openo to bring off the bench is huge. And for Fresno, Juan Pablo Caffa is making way as well.
And an early foul against Brian Brown, as Reno will get a set-piece opportunity deep in Fresno territory. So Caffa in, the 33-year-old Argentinian. 9 goals a season ago with Tulsa. Certainly a dynamic player. Number 10, he's there in the middle of your screen, a guy to pay attention to for Fresno.
I can't imagine there's much better guys coming off the bench tonight in USL action than Juan Pablo Caffa and Antoine Openo.
Good ball there from Van Avik and redirected into the back of the nets. Brian Brown off the header from Zach Carroll. And just like that, we are tied up at 1 apiece.
And Brian Brown, influential in his first touch of the game. Great ball in from Jerry Van Avik. And Zach Carroll heads it across goal for a wide open Brian Brown to tap it in to equalize here at Greater Nevada Field.
Van Avik, Carroll, Brown, and we are tied at 1.
And so intelligent from Zach Carroll to head it back across instead of trying to put it on target himself. And Brian Brown will score one of the easiest goals he's scored in a while.
So the blue smoke has been lit by the Battleborn Brigade, and we have got ourselves a new game here tonight in downtown Reno.
And that's how you start a second half. Well done from Ian Russell to get this going early on in the second half.
For Brian Brown, it's his 3rd goal of the season. And that ties him for the team lead along with Linda Mafeka and Danny Mazovsky. Such a quality ball by Jerry Van Avik, who picks up his 2nd assist.
I think the assist will be credited to Zach Carroll for heading it back across, but it was such a great delivery from Jerry Van Avik to find Carroll's run. And Carroll, with a lot of pressure on him, is able to head that back across. Really well done from the captain tonight.
Is there ever a situation where you can get 2 players with an assist? I know in hockey you can, but I was wondering, it hadn't occurred to me. Is it possible in that sort of scenario where it is very direct and it went from Van Avik to Carroll, or is it always just 1 assist?
They usually just credit the assists. I've seen hockey assists come up before in talks about soccer. I mean, Andres Iniesta is someone who doesn't get a lot of assists in his career, but if you look at hockey assists, the pass before the assists, he's someone who picks up a lot. So it's something that's talked about, someone who's able to create that play. But no, he won't be credited with the assist itself.
So Fresno, the goal in the first half from Cuevas, and now the goal from Brown very early in the second half. And we'll see what Reno can do now that we are knotted back up. Here's Juan Pablo Caffa off the bench. Mentioned before that Fresno has not lost when they have scored first, but also a stat that has been a detriment to them. They have only got 1 win when they have been leading at halftime.
Yeah, a lot of draws for this Fresno team. They haven't been able to convert draws into 3 points yet this season. I mean, they were hoping to build off of their fantastic win last week in a 4-0 against Seattle Sounders too.
And that was the lone win that they've gotten this year when leading at halftime. Here's Brent Richards trying to make a run in, cleared out by Fresno. Get it back to Ribeiro, some contact there by Felipe. No whistle as Reno takes possession with Thomas Janjigian. Richards again, this time dumps it off to Lindo Mafeka. Back to Luis Felipe. All the way to the captain, Carroll, who, as you mentioned, got that assist. Also, Carroll with a headed goal in Reno's last match in the second minute in what turned out to be a 2-1 win in Oklahoma City. Good feed there. Trying to find Brown.
On a good run from Openo there. Tries to play it in early to Brian Brown instead of carrying it a little more. Just a little bit tough for Brian Brown to deal with, but we see how dangerous Antoine Openo is running in behind.
Seth Kasipli going back to Richards. Here's Openo. That's what he does. He's so good at getting behind the defense. And he's very difficult to slow down. 3-4 guys in his way, and he can still usually hold on to possession. And such a pesky player that last year was extremely proficient at drawing penalties inside the box.
Yeah, he's just so relentless, constantly running at defenders, but so good at changing directions quickly, shifting his balance, and that's why he's able to win so many penalties like we saw last year.
12 goals, 6 assists, and 50 chances created a season ago. Carroll helps break up a run there, gets in front of Camden Faywo.
And there's something intangible about Antoine Openo's play as well. I mean, he's so good at running in behind, stretching back lines, and pushing up the whole Reno attack with his movement.
Fresno organizing here. Baldissimo trying to lob one in there for Faywo, and Marcinkowski will race up and pull it away. Our match tonight brought to you by Coors Light. The bigger the mountain, the better the reward. Whatever your mountain, climb on. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility.
Oh, well done from Brent Richards to win it after losing it initially.
Mafeko trying to find Brown. It looked like Brown was stepped on. You saw him hobbling in the box. Ryan Brown checking it at halftime and getting the early goal here in the second half of play.
You can feel how alive Reno has come in this second half. Fresno are really put on the back foot now. And Ian Russell's not happy about this one. Referee judges that Brent Richards came into the back of I believe it was Cuevas there.
Here's Camden Faywo again making a run. Gets inside the box and kicks it out of play. He has certainly been dangerous, though, coming up from midfield, and he has really been kind of setting the tempo offensively for this Fresno team. Product out of UNLV. Want to pass along a congratulations tonight, Kevin Partita, Reno 1868 midfielder, Sparks High School graduate and UNLV grad. He was picked up by the Earthquakes in the offseason, did not sign a contract with them after being drafted. Instead came here to Reno, but yesterday announced that he had joined the San Jose Earthquakes and he was in the starting lineup tonight for them.
And what a great story for the Northern Nevada native. I mean, to go play for your hometown team and then earn that call-up for San Jose Earthquakes in the MLS. And not only that, but get your start right away. Shows the amount of faith this organization has in him. And I think the fans here in Reno will miss him, but I think everyone is proud of what he's accomplished so far in his short professional career.
Well, and for Kevin Partita, did not lose a game that he played in this year in USL play.
No, the moment he came on was when Reno turned around. It could be coincidental, could be Kevin Partita, could be a combination, but he's been fantastic in that Reno midfield since coming in.
Definitely a challenge for him tonight. He was put into the 11 at left back, not his most natural position, but a chance to get some playing time nonetheless. Ribeiro trying to hold up play here in front of the box. Ribeiro, too easy for Marcinkowski.
You know, it looks like Ribeiro's struggling a little bit after that shot, but he's done a good job when holding up the ball of being a little shifty, sending the defender one way and making space for you able to get that shot off.
Here's Seth Kasipli. Over to Antoine Opino. And Brown able to pull it away from Opino, and now a throw-in coming for Reno 1868. Opino surveys the defense, makes a move inside the box. He's taken down, and a whistle. Is it enough to earn a penalty?
And that's what we were just talking about with Antoine Opino. Uses that acceleration to get the better of Brown there, but it's just outside the box. But uses the acceleration, is able to get his body between and earn that foul. He's so dangerous when he has the ball at his feet. He's so explosive and then is able to shift his body to be able to be in front of the defender. Now another set piece opportunity for Jerry Van Avik to put another great ball in.
We'll see if Reno can take advantage here as we move into minute 58. Chipped up. Headed out of trouble by Fresno. And a shot there from Kasipli, but right into the hands of Rainish. So Fresno survives a scare there as they were inches away from giving Reno a penalty. Also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that not only is Kevin Partita in the starting lineup for the San Jose Earthquakes, but who's standing next to him at center back? None other than Jimmy Ockford.
Yeah, Reno 1868's captain last year. Jimmy Ockford earned a call up to San Jose Earthquakes in the offseason, and he's really broken into that back line.
Strike from outside the box by Danny Barrera, and again, Marcinkowski ready for it as he rolls it back into play for Duke Lacroix. Kasipli able to keep it away from Ribeiro. Now finds Lacroix. Duke Lacroix takes a crack at it, deflected. Opino is trying to tee it up for Van Avik, and it's broken up. Here's Janjigian bringing it forward again. Now sends it wide for Richards. Another good move by Opino. Mafeka can't control his shot, but that was as good of a run in as you can get by Antoine Openo.
Yeah, and a great sequence there for the last minute from Reno. Ending with Openo with another fantastic run, getting the better of Brown. And Mafeka making that darting run to the near post. Just can't quite redirect it on target, but a great play, a great run from Mafeka to get in front of Del Campo there. But earlier we saw Duke Lacroix's mazy run. Fresno forcing him to the outside. He cuts it inside onto his weaker right foot and almost has a great chance out of it.
Barrera able to win a ball there against Van Avek. Juan Pablo Caffa pops it into the air, and Richards heads it out of play. And it looks like it was last touched by Fresno as they will make a substitution. Taryn Campbell, a 19-year-old from British Columbia, is going to come off the bench, and he will check in.
Yeah, it looks like Corey Brown, after having a nightmare 5 or 6 minutes, is coming off. Corey Brown has not been able to deal with Antoine Openo since Openo's introduction.
Campbell more of an offensive-minded player, so they'll probably shift somebody from the midfield back into Brown's spot.
It looks like you're absolutely right. Bradley Candon-Fewo will come into Brown's spot, where he'll be a little more of a physical presence against Openo.
Just simply trying to find Brown, and good defense there from Fresno to keep that out of trouble. Campbell scored 3 goals last year with the Whitecaps 2. 34 games with them over the last couple of seasons. A lot of playing time for this 19-year-old, so certainly accustomed to USL play, but he has not had a chance to compete in many games this season here with Fresno. Some valuable minutes off the bench from Campbell. Ball goes into Danny Barrera, who's tripped up, and a whistle goes against Reno 1868. Barrera will go to the ball, the USL first teamer from 2016 with Sacramento. He's been the top chance creator on this Fresno team.
He's such a creative player. Hasn't been able to be as influential as he would like to be tonight, but he's someone who can always be dangerous, linking up the midfield and attack.
Juan Pablo Caffa looking to find a run there for Campbell, and it's too far into the hands of Marcin Kowski. But the addition of Campbell gives Fresno now 2 forwards on the pitch, along with Pedro Ribeiro. Does that signal to you for this team to maybe look to play a little bit more of an offensive-minded game here in the second half and try and pick up another goal here?
Yeah, I think they have slid into a back four. It looks like Baldissimo is coming a little further back. And then Bradley Candon-Fewo is playing as a left back. So it looks like there's a little change in emphasis, trying to get a little more support for Ribeiro in the center. Maybe try to nick a second goal here.
Fresno got the first one in the first half. Jose Cuevas in the 34th minute. Brian Brown off of a set piece from Jerry Van Avek and a header from Zach Carroll, equalizing in the 48th. Good breakup there by Janjigian, getting in front of Taryn Campbell. Looks to send it down the field. And Candon-Fewo will intercept. Daly sends it forward. Barrera wins one in the midfield. Another takeaway for Reno. Kasipli going down the field for Brian Brown. Brown just one man to beat. Brown can't quite get there. He was held up from behind, and Brown upset with that contact. But a good recovery by Fresno's defense as he was able to square up in front of goal, but was unable to get the ball away.
Yeah, and Brian Brown, the quick little move to get past Mickey Daly. Mickey Daly just does just enough to slow down Brian Brown's run and allow Del Campo to recover and get that block off. I think Brian Brown was a little hesitant to shoot on his right foot. He maybe could have pulled the trigger about half a second earlier, but a great little move from Brian Brown. He's so good facing up defenders and being clever on the ball. Really not your average target man.
Campbell getting into the box, but Janjigian there to clear. Well, that's what Brown does so well. He's such a physical forward. Really kind of gives Reno a more physical look than Chow. And a good ball as well from Seth Kasipli, knowing who he's got down the field, that if he's able to get it to Brown, a lot of times he's able to physically get in front and get behind those defenders.
Yeah, and it was a great ball from Seth Kasipli to find Brown's run.
Here's Reno on a counterattack now. Openo trying to lead Van Avek. And broken up again by Fresno's back four. Richards trying to find Brown, and it's deflected out of play. Here's Lindo Mafeka.
Ooh, almost a clever play there between Kasipli, Mafeka, and Jerry Van Avek. Looks like Mafeka wants to shoot. He tries to find Van Avek's feet.
Janjigian gluing to Ribeiro, and a good takeaway there by Thomas Janjigian. Here comes Van Avek. Jerry Van Avek for Mafeka. Deflected and off the end of the fingertips of Kyle Rainish.
And what a run by Jerry Van Avek. Covers almost the whole distance of the field and then selflessly lays it off for Lindo Mafeka. Mafeka doesn't quite get as much as he would want on it. Antoine Openo is pretty furious that he didn't get that ball slipped through. But it's a great chance for Mafeka and a fantastic save from Rainish.
Yeah, you're right. You did see Antoine Openo lingering off to the side there. He was open as well. As Van Avek pops one into the air. Fresno clears it with a header. Kasipli gets there first in front of Campbell. And Reno will retain possession. Lacroix sends it forward. Van Avek puts his right foot into it and too tall.
And a great flick on header from the little Lindo Mafeka to find Jerry Van Avek. I think Van Avek just tries to catch Rainish off guard, but his volley sails over the crossbar.
Battleborn Brigade, they're feeling it now. Quiet in the first half. Silenced by Jose Cuevas, but they are alive and well now as we are knotted up at 1 here in the second half of play.
I mean, you can feel something coming from Reno. They've been on the front foot this whole half. They've been creating plenty of chances. Now they just have to put one in the back of the net.
Fresno getting deep into Reno territory, but broken up. Lacroix sends it forward. Touch pass from Brown. Gets it to Mafeka. Now forward for Openo. Antoine just barely couldn't keep it in, but a good effort there by Antoine Openo as it'll be a goal kick now from Rainish.
And I love this from Openo. I thought it was so clever. He kind of delays his pressing of Bradley Camden Fable. Camden kind of backs off the challenge a little bit, thinks it's safe to go up for a goal kick, and then Openo just sneaks in behind him rather than try to body off someone who's trying to shield the ball. Just that little elusiveness allows him to get the better at the end line, but his touch unfortunately rolls out for a goal kick.
Danny Barrera. Back to Cesares. Now Brian Brown coming the other way for the boys in blue. The Azules, as they're lovingly referred to by the home fans here in downtown Reno. Garnering a big fan following here in just their second season in the United Soccer League. And a good crowd on hand here tonight. Once again, it's Brian Brown. Brown trying to work around a couple defenders and knocked down without a whistle. Fresno with an outlet to Barrera. Baldissimo. Some space here for Cuevas, and a run there from Ribeiro, and almost timed it up. That was a dangerous situation there for Reno's defense.
Yeah, and a good, clever run from Cuevas to find space in behind the Reno back line. He puts a good ball across, and Brent Richards, better safe than sorry, clears it out for a corner.
So Cuevas will head down towards the corner kick now. Got his first goal of the season back in the 34th minute. Cuevas. Popped off the head of Mickey Daly and over the net.
Yeah, and Daly has a bit of a free run here. He'd want to do more with that challenge.
Substitution here for Fresno, as Cazares, will come off, and entering in is Christian Cheney. So another more offensive-minded player. Cheney does have a goal this season for Fresno.
It looks like Pedro Ribeiro will slide into the midfield.
Cheney, who just checked in, he's from Fresno, local product, played his college ball at Fresno City his last year in 2014, and he's also been a part of that Fresno Fuego team that you've been very familiar with.
Yeah, and a lot of local Fresno players on this Fresno FC team. I'm sure the city's very proud to see all these local boys playing for Fresno FC in their debut season in the USL. I like seeing local players get chances at a high level like this.
Here in Reno last year, it was Echeverria who had a chance to come play here. A1, as he's known here locally, and then Kevin Partita, the Sparks product, and UNLV grad, who is now up in MLS play with the San Jose Earthquakes, making his debut tonight. Also played with them during Open Cup, but now playing in an MLS contest and getting the start at left back tonight.
So it looks like Reno need another local player now with Kevin Partita getting the call up to San Jose.
And Avek taking a crack there from about 30 yards out. Deflected back as Barrera keeps it out of harm's way. Combos with Rivera to send it to the far side of the field. And knocked out by Duke Lacroix, and he was able to get it off of the foot of Matthew Baldissimo. Lacroix runs into Fresno. Here they come on the attack, and it's Cheney off the bench with a right-footed strike that goes wide.
Yeah, and Danny Barrera does really well there to win the ball from Lacroix and then find Cuevas between the lines, who then finds Cheney, but Cheney does not want to do more with that effort, especially with how far on the back foot Fresno has been this half.
Cheney, I mentioned his Fresno times, but he also has experience with Sacramento Republic, and that is also a trend on this Fresno team. A handful of guys that played for Adam Smith when he was the top assistant under Jim Buckle in Sacramento.
Yeah, he was Paul Buckle's assistant for a couple of years. Now getting a chance as a head coach here at Fresno. Bit of a rough start here, I mean, which you can expect from a team in their inaugural season. Not everyone can have an inaugural season like Reno 1868's last year. But I think he's done a good job creating a team that's difficult to break down.
Well, I think with the guys that he brings in from Sacramento, you get two things. He clearly knows their work ethic, knows them as players. They know him, but also some guys with some real playoff exposure, and a few players on this roster were on that 2014 Sac Republic team in their inaugural season that won the USL.
Yeah, this is a Fresno team that has a lot of experience, not even outside of the Sac Republic guys that Adam Smith brought in with him. Also, as we've talked about, Juan Caffa, who's played in La Liga, Jamal Johnson, who's played in the Premier League. And a lot of experience, guys who've played in MLS like Rainish. It's a team that could come together later as the season goes on.
Van Avek. A lot of white shirts to try and maneuver through. You can see they were sitting back with 8 players in or just outside the box. And only 2 blue shirts. Reno better organized now for an attack. Openo finds Kasipli.
And you see how much they're backing off Openo now. Afraid of getting beaten behind by him. He's able to find that pass, a little split pass between the 2 Fresno defenders for Seth Kasipli.
Save there from Marcinkowski, and want to let you all know more USL action on the way. Saturday, June 30th, as Reno 1868 will play host the Portland Timbers 2, a 7:15 start for the pregame festivities. Our telecast will begin at 7:30 here on My21 TV. Tickets on sale now at Reno1868FC.com. Van Avek. Richards came flying in for a header. Couldn't quite catch up to it, though, but Reno will keep possession as Openo tracks it down. He volleys it into the box. Brown trying to hold up. He's taken down from behind. Ball still in play. Did it come across?
Oh, and it looks like Zach Carroll fouled Rainish just before it went over the goal line. Just goes into Rainish as he tries to get anything on this after this goal line scramble. You see Brian Brown, ball's just stuck under his foot, gets brought down, and Zach Carroll throws himself at it, and stepping on Rainish's stomach in the process. I mean, he's going for the ball. Rainish does not have full control in his hands, but you have to protect the goalkeeper. Reno can feel hard done by, but the referee will always protect the goalkeeper in their box.
And Rain is still recovering from that jolting hit moments ago from Zach Carroll. And again, you can't fault Carroll at all. I mean, he's right there, right in front of the goal, tied up, chance to put his team in front, and nearly does if it isn't for the contact that really was pretty difficult to avoid.
Yeah, it is difficult to avoid. He's going for the ball. There's nothing malicious about it. But steps on Rainish in the process.
But what almost makes this play for Reno, it's Brian Brown's hold-up play, the strength to hold 2 players back, and you saw him there holding people back and giving the chance to some other players to come in and finish it off.
Yeah, Brian Brown does really well in that play. Just wants to get a toe on it, but can't. But Zach Carroll does get something on it. Ian Russell is not happy about that call. He feels that it should be 2-1 right now. It is a very difficult call to make.
Cheney able to win a possession there. Now Ribeiro Trying to find Cheney, but it's broken up.
Oh, and a good run here from Opino.
Manages to stay on sides. Opino. Van Avek. And what a save by Rainish.
Moments after recovering from being stepped on, Rainish comes up with one of his best saves tonight. I say one of because he's made quite a few of them. An excellent dummy from Lindo Mafeka, and Jerry Van Avek is alone in the far post. And Avek hits it across his body into that far post, but Rainish with an outstanding save to keep it level here. Somehow.
Well, it should be a wild 10-minute finish here tonight in downtown Reno as we are knotted up at a goal apiece. And best believe both of these teams want to come away with 3 points tonight.
Yeah, and I think Reno, if this does end 1-1, will feel that it's 2 points dropped, while Fresno will feel like it's a point gained. This second half has been all Reno. They've had so many clear-cut chances.
Here's Duke Lacroix. We'll take it into the box. Lacroix centers. Nobody home, though, and Juan Pablo Cafa gets it out of the box.
Barrera does well to slow down play there. Let Fresno push up a little bit. Stuck so far in their own box. But poorly given away to give possession back to Reno.
Good patience here by Reno. They'll swing it around to Lacroix. Van Avek. Headed, and again, Rain is there as Lindo Mafeka came flying in.
Yeah, and a great delivery from Jerry Van Avek to find Mafeka, making another great near post run. Mafeka's header will be another save for Rainish, who, if this ends level, will have to be man of the match tonight. But still plenty of time. 8 minutes plus stoppage time for Reno to grab something. For a match they feel like they deserve 3 points on.
Yeah, I think with the amount of close calls they have had in front of net tonight, I think they feel like they should have come away with one more goal at this point already. But this is going to be a tough attack for Fresno to deal with in these final moments. On the flip side, though, for Reno, they can't be caught sleeping, devoting so much attention on the offensive end that they allow Fresno to come in, counter, and change what would be a disappointment in a draw to what would be a huge disappointment in taking a defeat here at home.
Yeah, they're still going to have to be mentally strong these last few minutes in the back to restrict Fresno from trying to walk away with 3 points here, which would be a disaster really tonight with how many great chances Reno had and how much they've dominated proceedings out here tonight.
Taryn Campbell with too strong of a kick as he hits one over the top of the net. They'll send it forward to Kasipli. Now he holds up. Opino feeds it inside the box, a touch from Brown. And back to Kyle Rainish, who has had a very, very busy night. And Avek putting some pressure there on Campbell. Back to Rainish, who will kick it towards midfield. Felipe is there to get it back to Zach Carroll, and a whistle blown. Well, actually, there was no whistle. Vans Coors Light reminds you to celebrate every climb safely. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Great beer, great responsibility. Camden Fayewo, who we saw so active on the offensive end in the first half, has mostly been in the midfield here in the second 45. Fresno trying to organize here in the 85th minute, tied 1-1. Marcinkowski gets in front of Cheney, taking away an opportunity as Lacroix will collect it down in the corner. And Avik trying to sneak one past Ribeiro, but he'll steal it away. Juan Pablo Caffa. Good clearance there by Brent Richards.
Miscommunication there between Cheney and Cuevas. But Fresno will hold on to the ball in Reno's half. Try to push for something. Try to walk away here with a good result.
Nice job there by Seth Kasipley, getting his body in the way and helping a temporary interception, but back to Fresno. Juan Pablo Caffa sends it wide. A lot of white shirts in Reno's half right now. Ribeiro centers it. Ribeiro again. Baldissimo blocked once. Saved by Marcinkowski. What an unbelievable save there by Reno in a very tense sequence.
Yeah, and excellent combination play in the Reno box from Fresno. And Baldissimo just can't get something on it there at the end. Good chance there from Cheney to try to put something in. And JT Marcinkowski with a big save.
First it was Carroll who got his body in the way, and then Marcinkowski was able to knock it out of harm's way. A big sigh of relief there for Reno to escape without giving up the go-ahead goal with just minutes remaining here in regulation. Now we'll see if Reno can put some pressure on the other side of the field. Richards, and a tip from Rainish as Richards took a crack at it. Brown was there as well. And again, Kyle Rainish is on top of it.
Yeah, and a good, dangerous ball from Brent Richards. Brian Brown feels like Rainish got a touch, but referee judges it to be a goal kick. Reno still pushing for that goal to put them in the lead.
Openo trying to save it. And now a throw-in coming for Bradley Caden Fayewo.
And you can feel the frustration setting in for Reno. They're going to want to make sure to push these last couple minutes with everything they have, the amount of sharpness they had in the first half hour of this second half.
Pedro Ribeiro taking it downfield, dumps it off to Barrera. Now it's Taryn Campbell, and Lacroix is there to break it up. Nice job there by Duke Lacroix. He'll advance up the field now, gets it to Lindo Mafeka. Hoping to lead one in there for Antoine Openo, but too far. And it's Fayewo again getting ready for the throw.
It looks like Camden Fayewo will take his time with this throw and run down the clock a little bit.
Carroll sends one forward. Good pass there to Richards. Lindo Mafeka. Simply thought he would lead one in there for Van Avik. Not on the same page, though. And Fresno gets possession here with less than a minute to play in regulation.
Fresno's a couple times now has done a good job showing Lindo Mafeka to his right foot rather than letting him have one with his left.
We'll see what kind of stoppage time we get here. I imagine there will be some, especially with that delay with Rainish going down after no stoppage time after the end of the first half.
A lot of stoppage time comes from substitutions, and with so many substitutions happening at halftime, it might not be the 4 or 5 minutes that we're expecting. It might be 3 minutes, which could be enough time for Reno.
And it is going to be a 3 minutes of stoppage as Opino tried to break down the defense, and a good job there as Fresno walled them off.
Fourth official may have heard me there.
Reno should be happy to escape here with a draw. Will take as much time as he wants to try and tee this up. Will somebody break through here in stoppage time, or will this one end in a draw? No whistle on the contact there. Here comes 1868 on the attack. Lacroix to Van Avik. Up to Lindo Mafeka. Now Antoine Opino. Kasipli. And it goes wide of the nets. Lindo Mafeka was wide open. What a chance there from Reno, but they can't finish.
And this ball from Opino is fantastic to find Seth Kasipli's run. Kasipli's touch takes him away from goal, and he looks for Lindo Mafeka's late run into the box, but Mafeka puts it just wide. That could have been the last chance of the game.
What a shot there from Reno. But Kyle Rainish, who has been so good in this game, was ready for another surge from that Reno offense. Lacroix will come up and step in. Maybe time for one more run. Duke Lacroix gets it to Antoine Opino. Richards, and it slipped off the end of his foot, and Brent Richards slams the grass in frustration, knowing he got himself a big opportunity and just could not connect.
Yeah, and you see in the last second, Brent Richards picks his head up to look at the goal before he strikes it, and he whiffs the ball, which surely would be the last chance now. But that run from Duke Lacroix, so much desire there from the left back to carry it so far and try to get something out of this game, try to walk away with 3 points.
And there's the final whistle in a match that folks here just did not want to see come to an end. Such a spirited match between these two clubs, Reno and Fresno, in their first meeting ever. And I think if fans had it their way, we'd play another 45 minutes here tonight. But that is how it'll go. A draw. Fresno and Reno, 1-1 is the final here tonight. Some good and some bad here for Reno 1868. Of course, they would have preferred 3 points, but in the end, they're able to keep their unbeaten streak alive. It is now 10 matches they have played in a row without suffering a defeat, and that is certainly something to be said. But you can see Ian Russell, he is really not happy with some things that happened in this contest tonight. And certainly frustrating, I think, for him to see so many chances and so many close calls And again, though, in the end, tip your cap as he goes and shakes Rainish's hand. You got to tip your cap to Fresno, who played a solid game here on the road tonight.
Yeah, especially Rainish was fantastic these 90 minutes. Ian Russell is not happy about that Zach Carroll call. He's still letting the officials know how he feels about it. He feels hard done by. He feels like it should have been 2-1. But Reno 1868 leave here tonight with a point, with the unbeaten run still intact, bringing it to 10 games now.
All right, so you see Ian Russell there still talking to the referees, and a wild one here tonight. Colin, let's take a look at the highlights from this one, and it all started with a goal in the 34th minute. It was Jose Cuevas who would deliver on a terrific setup from Camden Fayewo.
Yeah, and Camden Fayewo, who was so active in the first half, gets this ball across, and Cuevas had a class finish.
Then just a minute into the second half, off a ball from Van Avek, a header from Zach Carroll, and then the finish by Brian Brown. And then here's the play we were talking about. Carroll, it would have been a goal, but they fouled him for contact on Kyle Rainish. And in the end, Reno and Fresno will have to settle for just 1 point apiece here tonight.
Yeah, and Reno will feel like it's 2 points dropped here tonight. So many opportunities, so many chances to put one away. But thanks to Kyle Rainish, Fresno will walk away here with 1 point. A huge point for them.
One silver lining, I think, for Reno, in addition to, look, 10 straight without a defeat. And also, let's not forget, Reno was down going into the second half. So to be able to come back and at least get 1 point tonight, I think there is some satisfaction in that facet of things.
Yeah, I think they responded so well to start the second half. Ian Russell was so proactive with the halftime substitutions of Brian Brown and Antoine Opino, and right away they make the difference. We see Brian Brown score within a minute of the second half.
So Reno, they will go to 5 wins, 3 losses, and 6 draws. That puts them at 21 points in the Western Conference. And for Fresno, they will go to 3 wins, 4 losses. That is now their 7th draw of the year, and now 16 points in their inaugural season under Adam Smith. For Reno 1868, up next, they'll be on the road for their next 2. June 16th in Orange County, June 23rd in San Antonio. Our next home match, June the 30th against the Timbers 2. Again, the pregame festivities will start at 7:15. Our telecast begins at 7:30. Want to thank our entire production crew for all of their hard work here tonight. For my partner, Colin Tabor, I'm Alex Margulies, saying so long from downtown Reno, where the final score tonight was 1-1. Good night from Greater Nevada Fields.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.